Welcome back to another episode of Self-Development with Tactics podcast, and yet another episode of the 59 seconds by Richard Wiseman book summary by the SamuelThomasDavis.com site. If you Google it, you're gonna be able to find it, but we're going ahead with it. So let's fire this bad boy up. It's amazing. As far as I do remember, Richard Wiseman, Professor Richard Wiseman, is also the author of another pretty good book. I might be confusing it with this book that I'm having in mind. I guess it is Wisdom. Might only be co-authored by him, but I'm actually not quite sure. I think that we'll be able to finish it relatively fast today. So I'm also going to Google that afterwards. Today there are some bullet points. They weren't there yesterday. Anyway. I'm just searching for the correct spot I have left yesterday. And I'm getting some emails. To prime your mind into thinking creatively, spend a few moments describing a typical musician or artist. List their behaviors, lifestyle, and appearance. This is something I have tried cutting down on your eating by replacing your crockery and cutlery. There we go. Christopher Peterson from the University of Michigan believes encouraging people to consider how they would like to be remembered after their death has various motivational benefits, including helping them to identify their long-term goals and assets. And ACEs? The degree to which they are progressing towards making those goals a reality. I think it is a good question to ask oneself and also ask other people if you find it worthwhile or sensical, because it's relevant, isn't it? How do you want to be remembered? What would you like your legacy to be like? And so on and so forth. Pretty good. Been talking about it before for quite some while, to be honest. To prime your mind into thinking creatively, spend a few moments describing a typical musician or artist. List their behaviors, lifestyle, and appearance. According to work conducted by psychologist Stephen Worchel from the University of Hawaii at Hilo, biscuits taken from a jar that is almost empty taste significantly better than identical cookies taken from a full jar. Which is odd, but it might be about us thinking that it's the last one and there's not going to be one after this, and so on. That just makes it better for whatever reason. To help promote the chances of a successful date, choose an activity that is likely to get the heart racing. I mean, it might work. I don't know the data, but you also need two people that enjoy that, and also a good weather and time of the year and so on. The theory is that your date will attribute their racing hearts to you rather than the activity, convincing themselves you have that special something. Which is interesting. The results revealed that just a few minutes focusing on the benefits that flowed from the seemingly hurtful experience helped participants deal with the anger and upset caused by the situation. They felt significantly more forgiving towards those who had hurt them and were less likely to seek revenge or avoid them. I do want to repeat. The results revealed that just a few minutes focusing on the benefits that flowed from the seemingly hurtful experience, whatever the benefit might be. I don't know. I don't know the study. I don't know the situation. But I don't know. I really hope that this is very seldomly the case. That you're being heard and it is good for somebody else. Surrounding yourself with objects that remind you of your partner is good for your relationship. People are far more likely to agree to a big request if they have already agreed to a small one. This is one of the reasons why when in Instagram stories or Snapchat stories or whatever, when you're having multiple pictures after one and another, there is some pretty simple yes or no questions. Most often you're gonna answer yes with. So, okay, are you having, I don't know, today is a sunny day, isn't it? Yes. Then another one, also a yes, up to this really big one. So now subscribe to my channel, now do this, now do that, now check out this link and whatnot. And apparently chances are higher for it being a yes. I think this is also applicable to conversations. And what do you think about the party? Do you like it? Yes, and so on and so forth. I don't know. It might also be pretty persuasive and or manipulative. But maybe it is worth it. In terms of job interviews, in terms of whatever. Might be the case. When making straightforward decisions, stick with the conscious mind by thinking about the pros and cons and assessing the situation in a rational, level-headed way. However, for more complex choices, try giving your conscious mind a rest and letting your unconscious work. This is interesting. And it is indeed something I thought about. Like, to whom should I listen to more? To my conscious mind or my subconscious mind? You know, what is smarter? What is better? You know, what is more beneficial for me? And it kind of makes sense. I mean, when it is a straightforward decision and I seemingly decide with my subconscious mind or maybe even with emotions, it truly does make sense to focus on the conscious mind and try to really think about what you're trying to do and what you're saying and so on and so forth. And on the other hand, when you're really having a hard time deciding what you should be doing, maybe just listening to your tummy, listening to your gut feeling, and then deciding based on that. Research shows that when most people look back on their lives, they tend to regret things they didn't do. I guess something we heard all already. To help spot possible shifts, try establishing what researchers have referred to as an honest baseline. Before asking questions that are likely to elicit deceptive answers, start with those that are far more likely to make the person respond in an honest way. During these initial answers, develop an understanding of how they behave when they are telling the truth by looking at their body language and listening to the words they say. Then, during the answer to the trickier questions, watch out for the behavioral shifts outlined above. Research shows that people have a strong tendency to underestimate how long a project will take, and that people working in groups are especially likely to have unrealistic expectations. Maybe also because we think, well, we're so many people, it's probably going to be really fast and fine and so on and so forth. But no, still underestimating it. It seems that to get an accurate estimate of the time needed to complete a project, you need to look at how long it took to finish broadly similar projects in the past. No shit, Sherlock. But yeah, of course, there might actually also be some other ways to determine that. When, yes, similar project or same projects in such a way. But I would also say, and this is the Pareto, not the Pareto principle, but the Parkinson's law. When we're having more time, we're also gonna spend more time. So the more time we have, the more time we spend. It is way nicer said, not the original quote, but how it is defined. Those who carried out the mental unpacking and produced estimates that proved what? Mental unpacking produced estimates that proved far more accurate than other participants. Carried out the mental unpacking. Whatever they mean by saying so. Research shows that people with surnames beginning with a letter towards the start of the alphabet are more successful in life than those with names towards the end. Well, this is like, yeah, could be the case. It is a study. Yeah. But I do really quickly want to see what Richard Wiseman also authored. Because as far as I remember, as I said before, there are actually quite some books he authored, wrote, whatever, as you can also see on the right side. But I might actually be wrong with saying Wise was also by him. Richard Wiseman holds Britain's only professorship in the public understanding of psychology at the University of Hertfordshire and has published over 100 academic papers examining the psychology of magic and illusion, deception, luck, and self-development. He has written several popular psychology books, including The Luck Factor and 59 Seconds, that have been published around the world, and regularly gives keynote talks to wide ranges of organizations, or to a wide range of organizations. Richard has also created psychology-based YouTube videos that have attracted over 500 million views. He's one of the most followed psychologists on Twitter, and The Independent on Sun chose him as one of the top 100 people who make Britain a better place to live. Which is very, I think, odd to say based on just someone that is living somewhere. But okay. History of Magic, Shoot for the Moon, Achieved the Impossible with the Apollo Mindset, The Luck Factor, 59 Seconds, Night School, Quirkology, Paranormality, Rip It